Congratulations, you are outstanding in this. And
Thank
I
you.
want to know, you bring such intensity and passion to every role that you play. Where does that come from?
Wow. I think I just love to do it, I mean, particularly on a movie like this, you know that you're working on something that's pretty epic and is probably going to be around for a long time. A lot of people are going to see it, so it's all very motivating.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
daunting at all to take on a role of such extreme, with Superman? I mean, who
Yeah.
doesn't know who Superman is to be in a movie like this?
Yeah, well, and also to follow, Terrence Stamp's iconic performance in the original. Uh, yeah, it is. But I just, I'm just focusing on one day at a time. And it's interesting when we started working on this. We started with a lot of training. We all did a lot of training together, and I think that kind of helped loosen things up a little bit. And because it is a very physical movie at the end of the day, so that's a good way to kind of find your way into it.
A couple years ago, I was able to talk to you at the Toronto Film Festival, and I asked you about this character. I think you just finished shooting it, and you said you saw General Zod as misunderstood. Why do you say that? Why do you see him like that?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's necessarily misunderstood or just not understood. I mean, I think it's all a matter of perspective. Like, if you're an Earthling, you're not gonna like General Zod very much because he's basically willing to wipe you out in order to save his people. But if you're a Kryptonian, you're probably like, wow, that General Zod, he sure is doing the best he can. So it's just a matter of perspective.
Yeah. Was it hard getting into the physical condition for this? I mean, there's a mental aspect, obviously, but like you said, training hard. You and Henry had some pretty big scenes there.
Yeah.
Fight scenes.
Well, I kind of enjoyed it because it's very unusual for me. It's not usually, I didn't do a lot of training before, take shelter or anything like that. I'm used to doing more maybe cerebral type jobs. So, yeah, it was just nice to get into something through the physical side of it, through the body.
How was Superman important to you growing up? Was it something part of your, were you a fan?
Well, I love the movies, and Christopher Reeve was so great. It was so sad when he passed. But like, I didn't get the comic books or anything. I didn't really get into comic books very much. But it's up there. That franchise is up there with like Star Wars, and they were kind of what little boys in my generation were into.
Yeah. Why was Henry Cavill the right guy to play the Man of Steel?
Wow. Well, he's very strong, and he's very, he's got a nobility about him. I mean, he almost seems like he could be like a prince or something, It's just innate. And he's a very kind-hearted person, and that's genuine. And I think that's what Superman is, he's got a big heart, and Henry has that too.
How did you find working opposite him? What was it like to work with him?
He's a great scene partner. He's a really good listener, and I loved, one of my favorite sequences to shoot was when I'm explaining to him what's happened and telling him how much I want him to be a part of our mission. And it was surprising how emotional it was. It's not what you expect, I think, from a movie like this.
They're amazing men. That is no question about it. As I said to you earlier, you give such passion in your performances, and I'm such a huge fan of Boardwalk Empire. How's it been to get back on the set with that gang, and what are we going to see from Van Alden? He's such a mystery, that guy,
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, Yeah, well, we're about halfway through shooting season 4, and he's still struggling. Poor old Van Alden. He's still trying to figure out. He's getting he's kind of getting drawn into a situation. It's like quicksand, that he doesn't really want to be in, but he can't help it. He's still rubbing shoulders or elbows or some body parts with O'Banion and Capone and all the Midwestern criminals. So, but it's interesting because we're just halfway through, so I really don't know. I don't even know what to expect.
Well,
at
that's
this
okay. I
point.
like surprises. I can't
Yeah,
wait
yeah.
to see this. Did you ever think you're going to become an internet sensation reading that sorority letter? Hilarious stuff, my friend.
Yeah. I'm not. I didn't even go to university, so like half of what she was talking about, I didn't even understand. But I just gave it the good old college try.
Well, I think you were fantastic. You should do some comedy. You really
Yeah.
need to do some comedy. I would like to see that.
If somebody sends me a comedy that I think is funny, I will be there.
Okay, well, congratulations on this. Your General Zod is outstanding, and it's such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.